Subscribe to the channel, and comment down below saying I subscribe to enter this month's shoutout giveaway. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to History Hub. There are dozens of ways you could put together a list of the best video games ever made. You could look to classics like Super Mario Bros. You could look at the impact on the medium or highest sales. You could write down your personal favorites on pieces of paper, then throw them into the air. In the world of so many games, classics are what most players have loved over the years. Here are 8 of the most classic video games of all time. Guitar Hero. Guitar Hero reanimated the music video game genre when it launched in 2005, magically transmogrifying players into bona fide fret-shredding, tremolo-slapping rock gods. Sure, you had to provide your own sweatbands, eyeliner, and hair extensions, but for the price of the game and its eponymous accessory, players hammering buttons on Fox guitars were able to rhythmically glimpse what it might feel like to be a Stevie Ray Vaughan or Jake E. Lee. While games like Dance Dance Revolution had proven popular with smaller audiences, it was Guitar Hero's rolling collection of classic and modern rock anthems that drove it to mainstream accolades. Gran Turismo 3, A-Spec. So Polyphony Digital's Gran Turismo, series to hi-fi motorsport and hot rodding. Of all the Gran Turismo games, 2001's Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec for the PlayStation 2 remains the series' apotheosis, a madly ambitious encyclopedia of lovingly modeled vehicles and vistas surpassing the wildest deer nut fantasies. Here was a racing game to rule all others, that on its surface promised endless championship events framed by thrillingly realistic physics and painstakingly replicated visuals, but that also catered to armchair grease monkeys who might spend hours fine-tuning then gawking at their drop-dead gorgeous rides. Pac-Man. Pac-Man gets a spot because it's an ancient arcade game that everyone played at least once at the local roller rink before it closed down for good like 15 years ago. As far as games go, it's always seemed to be on the frustrating and simplistic side.
Pac-Man's faster than I remember! Pac-Man's always been faster than the ghost.
Yes, it's a classic, but just like with old movies, a classic doesn't mean it's any good. Still, popularity is undeniable. Sonic the Hedgehog.
I'm Sonic, a little ball of super energy in an extremely handsome package.
Some of the entries on this list make more sense as a whole franchise rather than an individual game. Sonic, for example, probably rose to popularity on the Sega Genesis and the Game Gear. Not so much on the Dreamcast, RIP Sega systems. People recognize him though. Maybe he just has one of those faces. The Sims. LOL. This is the one game, no matter how many times you get it to go into the swimming pool and take the ladder away, will not die. We won't lie. We pump plenty of hours into constructing our own homes, putting dirty dishes on the floor, rosebudding, and setting the kitchen on fire. It can be a fun game, and it has serious appeal outside of your typical gamer base. Super Smash Bros. Since the original launch on the Nintendo 64 in 1999, the Super Smash Bros. Games have become no-brainers for Nintendo fans. The game, which borrows from Nintendo's stable of iconic characters, introduced something radical to the fighter scene. Rather than pounding the bejesus out of your opponents until they bow out, you're basically playing an elaborate variant of King of the Hill, trying to successfully knock your enemies off platforms in a given stage. What's more, players could romp through stages freely, expanding the canvas upon which to doll out whoopings. And unlike other fighters that require players to memorize arcane button combos to execute a character's special maneuvers, Super Smash Bros. Employs the same button template for everyone, making pickup simpler, and mastery about learning how to best synthesize all of the above. Pong. Snickering all you want about its two-dimensional graphics, Pong deserves a slot on this list because as the first arcade cabinet to catch fire with the mainstream, it's arguably most responsible for the modern video gaming phenomenon. A table tennis simulator, developed by Atari and first released in 1972, the multiplayer game consisted of a pair of dial-controlled paddles and a bouncing ball, just enough to qualify it as one of the first sports video games. The popularity of the arcade version led to an in-home setup that was sold by Sears in 1975, and when imitators including Coleco and Nintendo followed, the first shots were fired in the console wars. Sure, by today's standards, it's not as riveting as others on this list, but then that largely depends on who you're playing against. Castlevania. Pushing the limits of the NES's 8-bit architecture, 1987's Castlevania was a monster of a game, with stirring graphics, sophisticated physics for such an early platformer, and unforgettable music that perfectly matched the title's creepy feel. While nowhere as frightening as the yet-to-surface survival horror genre, it offered an experience in stark contrast to Nintendo's whimsical Super Mario games. Exploring Dracula's castle as a vampire hunter named Simon Belmont, players ran into some pretty haggard stuff. Bloodstained gates greet players off the bat, holy water and crosses were throwing weapons, and oh yeah, you have to beat death, and that's not even the fun final boss. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.